This is a walkthrough for this Edexcel Higher Maths GCSE paper from November 2024. Work out 818.4 divided by 1.2. I like to write it as a fraction first. And then I think, well, I don't want to divide by a decimal. We multiply this denominator by 10, which means I have to multiply the numerator by 10. Then I will use a bus stop method. 12 into 8, can't do. Carry the 8. 12 into 81. 6. Which gives you a remainder of 9. 12 into 98. 8. Remainder 2. 12 into 24, 2. So 818.4 divided by 1.2 is 682. The table shows the probabilities that biased dice will land on 3, on 4, on 5 and 6. Karen assumes the probabilities that the dice will land on 1 and 2 are the same. Let's just work out those probabilities first. So the table adds up to 1. 0.1 and 0.3 is 0.4. 0.05 and 0.25 is 0.3. Gives you a total of 0.7. Take that off 1. We get 0.3. Divided by 2. 0.15. Karen rolls the dice 500 times. Assuming Karen is right, work out the estimate the number of times the dice will land on 2. So we need 500 times 0.15. 5 times 100 is 500. I'm going to look at the calculation like this. 100 times 0.15 is 15. So it's the same as 5 times 15. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 5 is 25. We've got 15 lots of 5 here. Add them together, 75. Karen is wrong. The probability that the dice will land on 2 is greater than the dice will land on 1. How does this affect your part A? Well, the answer would be higher or greater. That's probability higher. Question 3. Work out 3.5 minus 1 and 1/6. So I'm going to change them both to improper fractions first. 3 times 2 plus 1 is 7. Got 7 halves minus 1 times 6 plus 1 is 7. I need a common denominator. So I could use 6. Lowest common multiple of 6 and 2 is 6. What you multiply 2 by to get 6? 3. I'll multiply this by 3 as well. Subtract the numerators. Change to a mixed number fraction. 6's into 14 is 2. 2 remaining be 2/6. simplify, show that 5 1/4 divided by 2 1/3 is 2 1/4. Again, I'm going to change them into improper fractions. 5 times 4 plus 1, 2 times 3 plus 1. Keep, flip, change. Keep, flip, change. 21 times 3, 4 times 7. We have a common factor of 7, both in the 7 times table. We're going to divide them both by 7. Change to a maximum fraction, 4 into 9, 2, remainder 1. Question 4. ABCD is a parallelogram. All angles are measured in degrees. Find an expression in terms of E for the size of the angle CAD. So CAD, this is the angle we're looking for here. Give a reason for each stage of your working out. So it's a parallelogram. This is an important bit of information here. This length AB parallel to DC. We have an alternate angle. So angle ACD is E, and the reason being alternate angles. We also have a triangle. Angles in a triangle at 280. 3E add E is 40. So angle CAD is 180 minus 40. So we found an expression in terms of E. This is our expression for the angle CAD. A car travelled 4.96 miles at an average speed of 30.4 miles per hour. Work out an estimate, an important word here, for the time taken by the car. Give your answer in minutes. So we know speed is distance over time. Speed is 30.4 miles per hour. I'm going to round that to 30. Distance 4.96. I'm going to round to 5. Let's make t the subject by times in both sides by t. Divide both sides by 30. Let's simplify that fraction. If you divide the numerator and denominator by 5, you get 1/6. Now what are the units here? Well, since our speed is miles per hour, this has to be in hours, so it's 1/6 of an hour. An hour is 60 minutes. So it's 1/6 of 60, or 1/6 times 60. 60 divided by 6 is 10 minutes. Is your answer to part A an underestimate or an overestimate? Okay, well, 30.4 I rounded down to 30. 4.96 I rounded that up. We've got a bigger answer, got a bigger numerator divided by a smaller denominator. So bigger numerator divided by smaller denominator. which will give me a bigger answer. Because I've got a smaller number going into a bigger number, it would go in more times. So my answer is an overestimate. Here's a pentagon. Angle A is equal to angle C. Angle B is 155. Angle D is 3 times the size of angle C. Angle E is 2 times the size of angle C. Work out the value of angle A. Angle A is equal to angle C, so I'm just going to call both of those X. B is 155. D is 3 times angle C, so it's 3x. E is 2 times angle C, so 2x. What do angles in a pentagon add up to? To find the angle sum, formula is n minus 2 times 180. Number of sides is 5. 540. So we know that x add 2x, add 3x, add x, add 155 is equal 540. So 7x take 155 off both sides, divide both sides by 7. X is 55. Angle A is 55. Graph shows the volume of water, V litres, in a tank at time t seconds. What does the gradient represent? How much the volume is decreasing per unit of time, which is per second. So it's the rate of change of volume. The diagram shows a triangular prism on a horizontal floor. Pressure equals force over area. The face in contact with the floor is a rectangle of 2 meters. Pressure on the floor is 80 newtons per meter squared. The force exerted by the prism on the floor is 720 newtons. Work out the length of the prism. So pressure is 80. Force is 720 over area. I'm going to times both sides by A. Divide both sides by 80. Cancel the zeros. 72 divided by 8 is 9. So the area of the face on the bottom of the triangular prism is 9. We're working out the length of the prism, which we're going to call x. So we know 2 times x is equal to 9. Divide both sides by 2. X is 4.5. The length of your prism is 4.5 meters. Highest mark is 74. Lowest mark, I'll pop that in again. The highest mark is 74. Lowest mark is 8. You see the axis is going up in 2s. So my median mark, let's get that off the cumulative frequency graph. $34. The lower quartile will be at 15. 25. And the upper quartile, 45. Which is 42. Join them together in the middle. And then the whiskers. The pass mark for the test was 40. Sean says 30% of the students, of the 60 students, pass the test. Is Sean correct? Well, what is 30% of 60? 10%, 6, 30% is 18. So pass mark is 40. 40, if I drew a line up from 40, I take us to here. I go across, take you there, 42. But it's these students here that pass the test. So 60, take away 42, 18. So yes, Sean is correct. Work out 25 to the power of half times 8 to the power a third. Power of half is the same as square root. Power a third is the same as cube root. Square root of 25 is 5. Cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Your final answer, 10. Find the value of 1 over 32 to the power 3/5. Well, it's the same as 1 to the power 3/5 divided by 32 to the power 3/5. Fifth root cubed, it's just 1 for your numerator. Fifth root of 32 is 2. 2 cubed, 8. Because that is the root, and this is the power. A, B, and C. Question 11. Kate was asked to factorise x squared plus 5x plus 6 in the form x plus a times x plus b. Kate says the sum of a and b must be 6 and the product of a and b must be 5. It's the other way around. If you're factorising a times b is equal to 6, That's the product equal to 6 and the sum is equal to 5. So Kate has the sum and product the wrong way round. Factorise fully 2m squared minus 2. First of all, I'm going to put it into a single bracket. And then hopefully you would notice this is now a difference of 2 squares. M squared is square, 1 is a square number. So m plus 1, m minus 1. Factorise fully. I'm just going to put this into a single bracket first. So I've taken out a negative y, would be a plus b in the bracket. Because now if I expand this bracket, I'd have minus ay minus by, which is what we want. And then seeing as we have a plus b bracket is the same, it would be a plus b x minus y. Question 12. A, B and C are solid spheres. Sphere A has a volume of 64 centimetres cubed. Sphere B has a volume of 125 centimetres cubed. Radius of sphere C is 50% of the radius of sphere B. Work out the ratio of the surface area of A to the surface area of C. Give your answer in the form A to B. So we've got 3 different solids going on here, A, B and C. So volume, so hopefully you also notice this is like area and volume for similar shapes. I'm going to find a volume scale factor first for A to B. And because it wants a ratio, let's leave it with ratios. So A to B, this is the volume. So the ratio, if you leave it in the ratio like this, I cube root them, I have the ratio for the length scale factor. Cube root of 64 is 4. Cube root of 125 is 5. Now I'm going to introduce my C, because the radius of sphere C and the radius of the length, 50% of the radius of sphere B. So 50%, half of 5 is 2.5. I want integers, so I'm going to multiply everything by 2. But it wants surface area, which is an area. I'm going to square all of these. 64, 100, 25. And now I want the ratio of the surface area of A to the surface area C. So 64 to 25 is my final answer here. Here are 2 cuboids. All lengths are measured in centimetres. Volume of cuboid A is 142. So the volume of cuboid A we get by multiplying all the dimensions together. Volume of cuboid A is 142 centimetres cubed greater than the volume of cuboid B. Volume of cuboid B. Just going to put my 2x on the other side here. So this is my equation. I can put them equal because the volume of A is 142 centimetres cubed greater than B, so B plus 142 would be the same as A, if that makes sense. So, let's expand the brackets first. So I'm going to expand these double brackets here. 2x squared minus x. You may do it in a slightly different order to me. Minus 2x minus 1 times minus 1 is plus 1. I'm going to do it on this side too. X squared plus 3x minus 3x minus 9. I'm going to simplify first. 2x squared minus 3x plus 3x minus 3x cancels. X times, so I'm going to multiply everything in this second bracket by x. We can have 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus x plus, now I'm going to multiply everything by 2. 4x squared minus 6x plus 2. Here, I've just got a single bracket, so let me multiply everything by 2x. 2x times x squared is 2x cubed minus 18x. I'm going to have to take this over here, I think, now. Let's simplify the left-hand side. 2x cubed minus 3x squared plus 4x squared is plus x squared. Plus x minus 6x is minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 2x cubed minus 18x plus 142. Right, now let's simplify by taking 2x cubed off both sides. They cancel. I am going to add 18x to both sides. So minus 5 plus 18, same as 18 minus 5, plus 13x. And then 2 take away 142 is minus 140. Oops, sorry, I left the 1 here. Let me just put the 1 back in. Okay, so I need to solve this quadratic equation now. So we're looking for two numbers, multiply to give negative 140, add to give 13. 1 and 140, so one's positive and one's negative, right? Because positive times negative multiplies to get negative. But 140, 270, no. 3, doesn't work. 4, 5, be 5. And 28, no, that wouldn't work. 6, 7, 7 and 20. Negative 7, so this would work, wouldn't it? X add 20. X minus 7. That works. 20 times negative 7 is minus 140. 20 add negative 7 is 13. So x equals negative 20. Cannot be, can't have a negative dimension. And if we put any of these minus 20s, oh yeah, we can have a negative dimension. Doesn't work. But x equals 7. That would work. So the value of x is 7. ABC is a triangle. Work out the length of AB. Well, first thing to note here, this is not a right angle triangle. So it's sine or cosine rule. Do we have opposites? Got an opposite here and an opposite there, so it's sine rule. So A over sine A equals B over sine B. So I like to ignore the, I'm going to call this A, little a. B, I'll leave as it is, little b. Okay, so we've got x over sine 45 equals 3 root 2 over sine 30. Okay, exact trig ratios. So I'm going to find sine 30 first. This is an equilateral triangle, 60, 60, 60, so that'll be 30. And this length here would be 1. I'm going to just take out my right angle triangle. I'm only going to leave my 30 in. I don't even need to work out the height because sine 30 was opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite over hypotenuse and half. So on the right hand side here we have 3 over root 2 divided by half. Okay, for my other triangle we have a right angle triangle. So this is to find my sine 45 now. So 45 isosceles 45. We've got 1. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. 1 squared add 1 squared is 2. That'll be root 2. Right, so sine 45 equals opposite over hypotenuse 1 over root 2. So x divided by 1 over root 2. Keep flip change. Keep flip change. Same on the other side. Keep flip change. So I could write 1s at the bottom, but you just don't really need them, which is why I left them out. So root 2x, 2 times 3 is 2 times 3 root 2 is 6 root 2. Divide both sides by root 2. Root 2 divided by root 2, 1. X is equal to 6. OY is equal to A. OZ is equal to B. M is a point on OY such that OM to MY is 1 to 3. If I split it up, it would be in quarters. So O to M equals a quarter A. And M to Y would be 3/4 A. N is the point on OZ. So it's ON to NZ is 1 to 2. So ON is 1/3 A. Work out the ratio of XN to MN. Right, so we need to find XN first. Oh, it's a parallelogram as well. We know that's B. X to N. X to N. Okay. We need to find out some more information here first, don't we? So, shall we get O to X? O to X equals OY plus YX. OY is A, YX is minus B. So OX is A minus B, which means ZY, it's a parallelogram, it's the same. Okay, so X to N, go from here to here. XN is equal to XO plus ON. XO, we're going the wrong way through this arrow, so we minus A plus B plus the third B. Simplify this. B, 1B, add a third B, 1 and a third B, which is 4/3 B. Right, let's get MN as well. So M to N, go like this. So M to O plus O to N. M to O, quarter A. O to N. Oh no, it's minus a quarter, isn't it? I'm going the wrong way through the arrow, sorry. So minus a quarter A plus O to N, which is a third B. I want the ratio of X to N to M to N. I'm just going to factorise these here, which will help me find the ratio. So if I'm looking at these two vectors, can you see that for the B's, we've got 4/3 is like 4 times a third. And if we do 4 times a quarter, we get 1, which is our 1A. If I take out a factor of 4 here, if I put 4 outside my brackets, well, what times 4 by to get minus, well, I've got a minus, which I'll leave there. What times 4 by to get 1A? It'd be a quarter. What do you times 4 by to get 4/3 B? Just be a third B. So can you see that XN is 4 times MN? The ratio would be 4:1. Question 16. Rationalise the denominator. So to rationalise the denominator, we need the denominator to be a rational number. It is a surd at the moment. If you just multiply it by itself, we'll make the surd into a rational number. There's a multiply in the denominator by root 5. I need to multiply the numerator by root 5. So we've got 15 root 5 at the top. Root 5 times root 5 is 5 at the bottom. 15 divided by 5 is 3. The answer is 3 root 5. So we're going to rationalise the denominator here too. That's how we write this in the form A minus B root 3 over C. I'm going to make myself some space over here. So to rationalise the denominator here, I need to multiply by the same bracket with a minus, and that will get rid of any surds. Because the times in the bottom by 1 minus 2 root 3. I need to times the top by the same. Okay, so I'm going to multiply, do my brackets over here. I multiply the top. Root 75 times 1 is root 75. Root 75 times negative 2 root 3 will be negative 2 root 225. The 75 times 3 is 225. And minus 2 times 1, negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 root 3. Negative times negative is positive. 2 times 2 is 4 root 3. So for my numerator, I have root 75. Root 225 is 15. That's just no new square numbers. 15 times 15 is 225. The root 225 is 15. 15 times 2 is 30. This can simplify further. I am just going to leave it like that for now. And the denominator. So 1 times 1. 1 times negative 2 root 3. 2 root 3 times 1. 2 root 3 times negative 2 root 3. Positive times negative is negative. 2 times 2 is 4. Root 3 times root 3 is 3. I'll leave that as 4 times 3 at the moment. Minus 2 root 3 plus 2 root 3 disappears. And then we have 1 minus 12, which is negative 11. Now, I just need to simplify my numerator here. Root 75 is the same as 25 root 25 times 3, which is the same as root 25, nope, which is, yeah, times root 3. Root 25 is 5, so it's 5 root 3. I have 5 root 3 minus 32 plus 4 root 3 all over negative 11. And that simplifies to 5 root 3 plus 4 root 3 is 9 root 3 minus 32 over negative 11. Okay, question 17. A, B and C are points on a circle centre O. CD is a tangent to the circle. BCD 40 degrees. OAB is 3 times OAC. So if OAC is X, OAB 3X. Work out the size of angle ACD. This big one here. Write down any circle theorems you use. Okay, so using the alternate segment theorem, this angle here is the same as this angle here. So using the alternate segment theorem, can you see we've got a tangent touching a triangle. So x plus 3x is equal to 40. 4x is equal to 40. X is equal to 10. We've got 10. The whole thing's 40. But we've got 30. We've got 10. Now I can also see we have an isosceles triangle. Always mark off your radii. You'll spot your isosceles triangle then. 30, 30, 180 minus 30 minus 30 gives you 120 here. And then we have, you see the angle at the centre is double the angle at the circumference. Just highlight that in a different colour. So the angle at the centre is double the angle at the circumference. So A, C, B equals 60. Right, out smoother angles here. AOB equals 120. Didn't use a circle theorem there, so don't need to write any circle theorem down. And then ACD is equal to 40 at 60, 100 degrees. Question 18. F of x equals 5x minus 3 over 4. Find f to the minus 1x. I'm going to put equal to y first. And then I'm going to make x subject, times in both sides by 4. Add 3 to both sides. Divide both sides by 5. When I replace it in the inverse function, I change any y's for x's. Find all the values of x. G of x equals x minus 1 squared and hx equals 1 minus 2x. Work out g of h at 5. So h of 5, 1 minus 2 times 5, 1 minus 10, which is negative 9. We work this way, h of 5 and then the g of that answer. So what's the g of negative 9? Minus 9 minus 1 squared minus 10 squared, 100. Question 19. In the semi-finals of the chess tournament, player A will play player B, and player C will play player D. Two winners will then play each other in the final. Here are some different probabilities of the different players winning. Work out the probability that player A will win the chess tournament. Right, so we're only interested in player A winning the whole tournament. Let's just look at the different possibilities for the final. Player A and player C in the final. So that would mean player A winning, player B, which is 0.6, and player C winning player D. Give you a player AC final. And what about a player A and player D final? So player A must win player B, D winning C. Well, if C winning D is 0.2, D winning C is 0.8. Okay, so player A winning player C in the final is 0.12 times 0.5. 12 times 5 is 60. 0.12 times 0.5 is 0.06. Just explain that in a bit more detail. So divide that by 10. So 12 to 0.1212 is divided by 100. So divide the whole thing by 1,000. Okay, so now we want player A winning player D in the final. Okay, so what's 48 times 3? 144. So again, divide by 1,000. And then we're looking at this possibility or this one here. So let's add the probabilities together. So final answer 0.204. 20. Circle C. So C is the circle with the equation x squared plus y squared equals 4. I'll just draw a little sketch of this. We know, don't we, for the equation of a circle, x squared plus y squared equals r squared. 2 squared is 4, so the radius here must be 2. So I could actually mark that point off here at 2, 0. Find an equation of the tangent to state the point P1 if P is greater than 0. So if it's P1, if P is greater than 0, everything's got to be in the positive quadrant. We know the y coordinate is 1. And as we know, the radius is 2. We want the equation to the tangent at C. So that's C. The equation, so the tangent looks like this. So to find the equation of this line, we need the gradient and the y-intercept. Don't really have much information here other than that the coordinate point P1 light is on the line. I think it may be useful to get that point P. But we know the radius is 2. So the length of the line between 0, 0 and P1 is 2. We can use Pythagoras here, can't we? So if I just write, you can learn the equation for this, but I think it's useful to kind of just see it really on the diagram. The radius is 2. Get rid of that 2 there. A bit misleading. So my right angled triangle here, we have the hypotenuse is 2. A, well, how far across? P is your x value here. So P we'll leave as A. And then your y value is 1. So we're like 1 up. So B is 1. So P squared plus 1 equals 4. Let's subtract 1 from both sides. P squared is 3. Square root both sides. P is root 3. Now we know our coordinates of C are root 3, 1. So to find the equation of a tangent, as discussed, we need the gradient and we need the y-intercept. So we can find the gradient of this line here, and the tangent is perpendicular to the radius. So the tangent has a gradient that is the negative reciprocal of my gradient from O to C. So my gradient from O to C, difference in y over difference in x. So equals difference in y over difference in x. So my difference in y coordinates are, here we've got 1, here the y coordinate is 0, so it's just 1. Difference in x coordinates, so we go across root 3 to 0, so it's just root 3. So the gradient OC of the radius is 1 over root 3, so the perpendicular is minus 1 divided by 1 over root 3. Keep flip change, minus 1 times root 3 over 1, which is just negative root 3. So we have our gradient, so we can now say, so y equals negative root 3 x plus c. We have a coordinate point on this line, negative 3, 1, so we can sub in those values. Y is 1, x is root 3. Negative root 3 times root 3. Root 3 times root 3 is just 3, so it's negative 3. Add 3 to both sides. C is 4, so the equation of my line is y equals minus root 3x plus 4. We want it in the form y plus root x equals b. So y plus root 3x is equal to 4 is the final answer.